There will likely be major plot developments in the Bloodline saga on the next WWE SmackDown program. This follows Bloodline 2.0's previous antics on Raw, which resulted in Braun Breaker losing the Intercontinental Championship match against Jey Uso. Here are 5 things we think will happen at this week's SmackDown event, the Bloodline saga. On this week's SmackDown, Roman Reigns may express regret to Jey Uso for his previous behavior, which would be a big development in the Bloodline saga. After losing against Solo Sikoa's Bloodline, the Yeet Master may make a return appearance on Friday night, just like last week. This would allow Roman to face Jey again if it occurs. But this time he could try to make amends with Jey and repent for his previous actions so that the All Bloodline can reunite and fight Solo's group. The USOs might reunite at WWE's next major live event, Crown Jewel 2024, and challenge Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa for the Tag Team Championship. At this time, the race for the position of number 1 contender is heating up between Dwayne and Motor City Machine Guns. Nevertheless, before the Crown Jewel, WWE may schedule SmackDown to feature Bloodline versus the victor of this number 1 contenders battle. This may pave the way for the USOs to face off against Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in the Saudi Arabian event. After a possible return to the blue brand this week, Jey Uso may seek revenge for the loss of his Intercontinental Championship by reuniting with the All Bloodline. Since they were responsible for his losing the IC Championship, he should exact his vengeance by stealing their titles. Claiming to have been there to assist Jey Uso in defending his Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker, Solo Sikoa made an appearance on Raw. But the Yeet Master saw things differently and launched an assault on the group. Given Jey's possible SmackDown return this week, he may shock everyone by teaming up with Solo Sikoa instead of Roman Reigns. In a surprising turn of events, Jey might admit to Solo that he prefers to keep his distance from the continuing family strife and refuses to get involved. If Jey decides to side with Solo, he may be trying to stop the group from interfering with Raw in the future so he can concentrate on his aims. Despite their months-long animosity, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa have yet to meet in a singles bout. After 2 weeks of brutality, Reigns may be ready to face Solo Sikoa in a one-on-one bout at Crown Jewel 2024. The original tribal chief may try to explain Solo's success by pointing to the numbers game, but a pure singles encounter would be a different story. Though he has been out of WWE for a while, Paul Heyman may make a surprise return to SmackDown this week to arbitrate a match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. In this crucial juncture, Roman will undoubtedly listen to him as the special counsel. In an effort to get them to see the value in getting back together at work, Heyman may attempt to explain it to them. Their differences may be resolved by the wise man, who could then try to bring the original bloodline back together. Nevertheless, Paul may find himself in a predicament if they cannot reach a mutual agreement, which might force Heyman to choose between Reigns and Jey. While this may be a challenging circumstance for the Hall of Famer, it has the potential to add an intriguing twist to the original Bloodline reunion tale. There seems to be no end in sight to the Bloodline storyline, which has been one of the most interesting sagas in WWE recently. The once unbreakable relationships within this family unit are altering as Roman Reigns continues to rule as the tribal chief, with his cousin Solo Sikoa standing by his side. Paul Heyman's reappearance adds another layer of mystery, but he also confronts new problems that threaten to destabilize the bloodline. There has been much speculation that a prominent Raw talent may decide to stand with Solo, which might lead to a split in the bloodline. If you want to know what the heck may happen this week on WWE SmackDown with the Bloodline plot, here are 5 daring guesses. 1. A renowned Raw star assists Solo Sikoa. As the rifts within the Bloodline widen, Solo Sikoa may want to bolster his forces, and reports suggest that he isn't the only one unhappy with Roman's leadership. A well-known Raw star may decide to defect and join Solo, either as an ally or an equal partner, trying to establish their position inside WWE's most infamous family, according to rumors. This Raw star may be someone like Drew McIntyre, who has been acting more and more like a heel as of late. If McIntyre were to team up with Solo, SmackDown would be much more unpredictable, thanks to his strength and presence, which would allow him to face Roman head-to-head. The plot for this move makes sense. McIntyre has been vocal about his dissatisfaction with the lack of attention he receives in the main event, and he may view a partnership with Solo as a way to finally dominate WWE. When they were joined, they would become an unstoppable force, capable of challenging even Roman's rule. McIntyre's entrance into the Bloodline's conflict would provide a new angle to the conflict, drawing attention to the friction between Roman's long-standing power and the new alliance's desire to alter the family's history. 2. Paul Heyman must decide. Who or what are his loyalties? The return of Paul Heyman, the man responsible for Roman's rise to the position of tribal chief, has elicited both enthusiasm and inquiries. Roman has relied on Heyman as a sage and strategist for years to keep his empire afloat. Now that Solo seems to be plotting a coup, Heyman must decide between being loyal to Roman and fulfilling his duty to keep the Bloodline dominant. The scenario that Heyman finds himself in this week on SmackDown might be rather dangerous. Staying loyal to the man who has brought his own prestige to unprecedented heights, should he continue advising Roman? On the other hand, is he trying to protect himself by teaming up with Solo, whose aspirations seem to be increasing weekly? It might all boil down to a traditional altercation between Solo and Roman in the dressing room for Heyman's allegiance. Anxieties would run high at this point, and Heyman may be confronted with a hard decision that would pave the way for an uncomfortable alliance or a startling betrayal. 3. Solo reacts defiantly to Roman Reigns' attempts to re-establish control. By using threats and physical force, Roman Reigns has remained WWE's top dog and has even used intimidation to control his own family. But Roman feels his authority being questioned and his grasp weakening as the discord increases. On this week's SmackDown, Roman may attempt to take charge by highlighting his superiority over Solo and anyone else who may be considering leaving. As a result, Solo may exhibit an unprecedented degree of rebellion, shocking WWE fans. Solo is portrayed as a reserved enforcer who prefers to let his deeds speak louder than words in the ring. This week, he may confront Roman directly or set his own conditions for being a member of the Bloodline. Either way, we might hear him speak his thoughts. To illustrate his desire to take the lead, picture Solo making eye contact with Roman and demanding his equal regard. When Roman learns that Solo's allegiance is in jeopardy, it might lead to an exciting power battle. 4. Jey Uso revives for SmackDown and throws a curveball. The Bloodline saga has been incomplete without Jey Uso, who made an abrupt exit from WWE earlier this year. Through manipulation, betrayal, and frequent marginalization despite his allegiance, Jey has encountered the most brutal aspects of Roman's authority. Returning to SmackDown this week, Jey might provide an extra twist to the plot by playing the role of a wild card. An emotional showdown may ensue upon Jey's return, as he may choose to support Solo or work toward reconciling his family. while gently suggesting that he has no desire to bow to Roman's authority again. Jey may see himself as the genuine intermediary between Roman and Solo, providing an opportunity for reconciliation. He might play the role of Solo's polar opposite and demonstrate to his cousin the consequences of unrewarded devotion.